Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in development as we speak by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing is for certain is that a lot of things are happening right now between the Ahsoka Tano TV show, Star Wars Andor, The Bad Batch Season 2. There's a lot of work being done on these projects by Jon and Dave Filoni. Given that they have a lot of work to do with other Star Wars projects as well, I mean, it really makes you imagine exactly what kind of workload these guys are really going through. I mean, they got a lot of things on their plate to begin with. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more exciting is that we have, of course, actor Hayden Christensen pretty much and essentially training for the role of Anakin Skywalker again for the Ahsoka Tano TV show that's all set and ready to debut by spring of 2023. In fact, they are going to begin shooting this series in just a couple of days' time from now. You know, there's a lot of work also being poured into that show to really make it very cinematic and very movie-like, to say the least. So with that being said, what's even all the more intriguing has a lot to do with Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Now, Bob Chapek for the longest time has been doing a lot of things for both Jon and Dave Filoni as well as George Lucas, allowing them to do the things that they have wanted to do for so very long by involving all of these fan-favorite characters, such as characters from the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Legends, and mixing them all together to really create this new timeline and this new universe at all of that. So on top of this, what's really interesting has a lot to do with what Bob Chapek recently did with the Star Wars universe for the fans. Now that, of course, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars shows and projects, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently developing their new Star Wars TV shows that will be announced at this year's Celebration event. Now, it's described that recently Disney CEO Bob Chapek finally greenlit one of the major projects for the Star Wars universe that involves creators George Lucas and a beloved era in the franchise as well by fans. The big decision that Bob Chapek recently made was to greenlight the Old Republic TV show in live-action form that will be slated for a 2024 release, and that they are planning to now begin writing a script by this fall to begin shooting during the summer of 2023. Now, the Old Republic TV show is set to involve George Lucas as a co-writer who will handle some of the most fierce characters such as Darth Malgus and even Darth Revan to eventually be introduced. However, Bob Chapek has also been in the talks with James Cameron to join the project. Bob Chapek is also set to bring in Matt Reeves to join the Star Wars universe by handling the Old Republic era to give the series a very dark and ominous feel to it all. Now, Bob Chapek is going to have multiple writers on the show, and that Lucas, Cameron, and Reeves are only a portion of who will be involved in this 12-episode planned series that is focused to become a multi-season show that will span throughout the years. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. I don't know about you guys, but Matt Reeves is an excellent choice. It makes a lot of sense to get a guy like Matt Reeves on board of Star Wars because of his dark tones that he likes to use in his movies. In case you guys did not know who in the world Matt Reeves is, you probably do know now ever since you saw The Batman, but he was also involved in the Apes movies, so those also had a real dark and ominous feel as well. That's exactly what Disney is going for with the Old Republic, to give it that Planet of the Apes, you know, bare bones style when it comes to the fighting and when it comes to the tone. That's what they're aiming for. It's basically medieval times in space. That's the best way I personally could describe the Old Republic. Maybe it's a bad comparison, but that's how I always saw it. Moving on. Now, of course, since Matt Reeves' success with The Batman this year, Bob Chapek wanted the right director and/or writer to handle the dark tone of the Old Republic, and that's when Matt Reeves was approached for the new series that will take place thousands of years before the events of Star Wars Episode 1. Now, the series will also tell new tales about the Jedi and some bounty hunters that will assist the Sith in this new show. So keep in mind, it's not just going to be about the Sith and the Jedi, it's also going to feature new bounty hunters, new characters that will interact with those other characters to really kind of just expand this universe overall. Now, apart from all of this, alright, obviously a lot of fans are going to tune into this show for multiple reasons, because it's catering to the dark side, the light side, as well as the bounty hunters. And if you guys know anything about the Old Republic, it is full of bounty hunters when it comes to many of the specific Star Wars worlds that we all know and love. So on top of all of that, alright, this is where things begin to pick up quite a bit, is that Disney wants to make the Old Republic more familiar to the fandom, such as to the casual viewer. This will also feature George Lucas using many of his abandoned ideas of the prequels that will be used in the Old Republic era to also introduce new characters that were never before seen in the Star Wars canon. Now, the big series is set to accurately be based on the video games and books that are already released, and is the main reason as to why one of the big video games of course, this era, are being remade right now as we speak. Now, if my memory serves me correct, I believe it's Knights of the Old Republic video game that's being remade, and we can see how exactly why it's being remade. You know, it's obviously to promote the Old Republic TV show that is now in the early development phase. They're going to begin writing a script very soon, and by next year, alright, they want to start filming by the summer of next year to get this thing out by 2024. At what point in time in 2024 is the biggest mystery of all? Is it going to be in the fall, the winter, the spring? Who knows? But it's looking more likely to be late 24, to be honest with you guys. So director and writer Matt Reeves is very excited to join Star Wars, and it was a difficult task for Bob Chapek to get him on board on the new Star Wars show. However, Cameron also took a lot of convincing by Bob Chapek to join Star Wars as a co-writer to work with Lucas on this massive project that will also unveil new secrets about the dark side and the Sith. Lucas also plans to tell the backstory of Darth Malgus as well in this new series. So let me just stop right here for 1 second before we move on to something even all the more exciting, is that one thing about George Lucas co-writing this makes a lot of sense. It just sounds perfect, and it fits directly in line with the Old Republic. You need Lucas for this, because Lucas is the guy that kind of guided, you know, the authors of the books and the creators of the video games on how to really make the Old Republic. So to have Lucas on board as a co-writer along with Cameron and Reeves, and how they're just the beginning of writers and or directors getting involved, this just goes to show you that Chapek strictly only wants experienced creators, whether you're a writer, a director, whatever, to come on board of the Old Republic to really make it something so successful to the point where it's going to spawn its own take on Star Wars in general. So, aside from all of that, alright, the important thing to know about all of this is that Kathleen Kennedy will not be involved with this project at all whatsoever. No other portions of her legacy will be embedded in the Old Republic timeline at all. In fact, you know, this was actually Kathleen Kennedy's idea in the beginning, which was the High Republic. That was going to be her version of the Old Republic. She wanted nothing to do with the Old Republic era, believe it or not, and wanted that to never actually see the light of day. She wanted to stick only to the High Republic. Well, that's no more, because now they're embracing the Old Republic, since it does take place thousands of years before Episode 1, whereas opposed to the High Republic takes place only a couple of hundred years before Episode 1. 200 plus years to be exact. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about. Let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.